Alright, previously in the GodBreaking, a group of adventurers, with the impending assault of the Depatian army on Lumos, millions of these crab-like monstrosities moving in um, towards the capital city. Um, you guys made a desperate plan to seek out the third tide shard. You were told that the third tide shard resided in the lost city of Anwen, the third great kingdom beneath the sea, that had not been heard from a period of time even before the God-breaking invasion. So Elwyn leveraged the information tendril network that Gelly and her species extended across the ocean, and you guys teleported through a great part of Lunaria. So, um, so the safe zone surrounding the Maw of the Void, at which creatures, including merfolk, could swim, was about that size, right? So you could anyone closer than that, even the strongest merfolk or sea creatures, could not swim within that range in that circle. The lost city of Anwen was located inside that circle, inside that barrier. You guys teleported to just outside that ring, and then Adis, you shapeshifted into the form of a megalith. These demonic, enhanced aboleth-like creatures that are the bane of all undersea life now. And because you'd learned that only these creatures could swim close to the Maw of the Void. So now your safe zone, the area that you could not traverse, is about that size, and you guys followed the drawn line around using the speed of the circling water, to slingshot your way around the Maw of the Void and traverse a great distance towards Anwen. And there, this is what you saw. Most of the nation, you could see sprawling, what had once been a sprawling empire of undersea structures, was flattened and ripped away, totally worn down and eroded away by the surging waters of the Maw of the Void. All that remains is this singular set of spires, held together by this growth, this dark, viscous-like substance that was clinging around them and wrapping around them. Large flock of megaliths circled this growth, but were hesitant to get any closer than inside this large perimeter that they swim around. Inside this unseen perimeter, you see corpses of megaliths in various states of being incinerated and burned. Husks of their carapaces, others with just a searing hole burned straight through them, littered the ground. And as you guys observed, you saw a large creature break off from this section of the spire structure and destroy a megalith that had gotten too close, with a single blazing beam of fire from one of its many eyes. Shit, where'd my picture for that go? Oh, here. That's what it looked like. After it destroyed the megalith, it reattached itself to the substance that holds the spires together and basically camouflaged itself back hidden there. So you guys, what did you guys do? How did you guys get past it? I forgot.
We we got outside the herd, and then Elwyn attacked it and made it think the herd attacked it. And then while it was rampaging toward the herd, we swam in, and Elwyn or Deimos, one of them, ball checked him, and then
Sleight of
got
hand.
and the ball he hit the other ball and caused the ball he hit to come back and hit him in the face.
That's right. um, so Ellen, what happened to you? Did you have like an imprint of?
Dude, I don't remember. I was really drunk.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think.
It's probably too big of a ball to leave a small imprint.
Okay, I
Oh,
forget.
I used my. I remember now. Ooh, it's all coming back. I used my dragon staff to shoot the beam right at its balls, and that's what made it go like all crazy.
That's
We
right.
got past it.
That's right. Okay, so you basically lured it away towards the herd of megaliths, and they moved to attack it. And as you guys entered the structure, found a small crevice in the growth around it, you saw the water around the guardian superheat and boil alive a score of megaliths that were attacking it. So you guys entered the city of Anwen. And all around you, you see the remains of a sprawling but formerly brilliant civilization. Here inside this growth work, readily visible is the remnants of this former city, of this former culture. But there are no living things in view. It's basically the equivalent of a ghost town. So it looks
Hey,
like.
Deimos. Deimos. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Deimos.
I don't know where he is.
Can you
I
go
think he's AFK.
Oh, okay. I'll wait till he gets back then.
That's what you guys see. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna tell Deimos when he gets back to resurrect one of these dead dudes.
Oh, I mean, bodies on the ground?
Yeah, because he is true resurrect.
No, there's no bodies on the ground.
I think he
You
used
said
it on
last time there
you
were.
the same day.
But if there aren't any, then never mind.
No, there's no bodies. There's no corpses or anything. It's a ghost town, completely empty.
All right, shoot. Sorry, I was sneezing a storm.
What do you guys want to do?
I go to one of the nearest buildings and I check to see. I put my detective hat on to see if there's like plates on the table or like if this just happened in a flash or if it was like a gradual kind of destruction. You know what I mean?
Okay.
What is the thing I'm circling, by the way?
It's a statue.
Aha, I will swim up to it.
Okay. Elwyn, you go off into one of the buildings and it looks fairly residential. And walking in there, you do see remnants of what looks like a hasty evacuation or departure. There's pots and stuff that look like they were preparing food of some kind. But a table is set with silverware and that kind of stuff. But any biodegradable stuff, any food or anything like that is long since rotted away. So all that's left are the vessels, the plates, the utensils, the cups, those kinds of things.
I look over my shoulder and I say, "Looks like they were surprised, Watson." To Deimos.
Okay.
Deimos, are you still sneezing?
Okay, I'm good now. Holy shit. Allergies. I have no idea what just went on. I was sneezing.
Come on. Let's
Yes.
go see what Renly's up to.
That sounds like a thing we're going to do right now.
Okay.
But wait.
Yes.
I make sure that the tether is still secure between us.
It is indeed secure.
Okay. Let's go. Lead on. Deimos. Giddy up.
Giddy up. Jump on, my boy.
I jump on his back and I say, Eagle!
Ooh, and I start swimming forward.
It is so weird when you are not in Deimos' underwear, because that's where I normally just automatically picture you just on his back in his underwear, like following up behind.
It's not gay. It's guy love.
Dude, it's
Indeed.
like, it's practical.
Okay. Renly, you approach this statue, and as you go up there, again, the serenity of this area, the quietness of it is haunting. You see that this is a monument dedicated to the founder of Anwen. Curiously enough, he's not a merfolk. He has the physiology of a humanoid, 2 legs, 2 arms, and no fish-like or scale-like features to him. But other than that, it is just a stone statue, old, very old, worn. You can see evidence of where the statue has worn down just because of erosion, natural erosion. But quietly just sits there.
And does it have like a name on the bottom, like perhaps like written or carved into a placard or something?
Yeah, it is.
Ooh boy. I'm
What
like,
keyword do you have?
Guys, I call up. Yeah, where are you guys? I think I found relatives of people we're looking for, or the things that belong to somebody. Just get here.
I'm already here.
I turn around and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, you are.
Like ninjas.
I dismount and I look at the name.
Okay.
Huh.
You think there's like a secret tunnel under the statue or something? I'm just saying. I mean, if I was
never
Virgil,
used
where would I
this.
keep stuff?
Is there a secret tunnel underneath the statue?
A secret tunnel?
Yes.
So you're knocking the statue over?
Yeah, there's always a tunnel under weird place statues.
Hypothetically, yes.
Oh my goodness. Roll. So you put your shoulder to it, Deimos, and using your impressive strength, you see the legs of the statue break, and the whole thing topples over at the and you rip up the ground pedestal that it is attached to as well.
Never skip leg day.
I need to correct something. You are no longer foresighted. You got a long rest, so I am taking that off.
I just took that off. But I was foresighted for that one.
Elwin, I'm putting it in chat.
Yeah, I saw it. That's sweet.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
really
hear
cool.
the mechanically every time you clack.
Yeah, it's much less click. My keyboards is much less clicky than like Cherry MX Red switches or whatever most. It's a lot quieter than most mechanical keyboards, but it's got really nice action. Renly, roll a d20. Oh, jeez, there is absolutely a tunnel underneath the.
I found it. It's right here. We should start a TV show or a movie.
Natural 20.
What do you wanna call it, Deimos?
Renly, have you been here before?
Hey Deimos, you wanna call it YouTube Red?
Go what?
Exactly.
All I know is I'm going to be played by Nicolas Cage.
YouTube Red? Do you mean RedTube?
Oh, is it RedTube?
They're 2 very different things.
I don't even know what.
No, you're talking about porn.
Wait. We never
No,
know.
what is YouTube's television thing called?
YouTube TV.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it had some weird, funky name.
There is a YouTube Red. There is absolutely a YouTube Red. I don't know what it is though.
Alright, I'm gonna be played by Nicolas Cage. Elwin, you get Sam Elliott.
Why would you want to be played by a cage of nickel?
Dude, he will literally play any role you think of.
Let me Google this Sam Elliott.
No, I'm curious and I'm Googling.
I don't know who Sam Elliott is. Damn it.
What are you googling?
Sam
Wait.
Elliott. Oh,
Wait,
what
wait.
this is the guy from.
Eva Mendeles and Adis, you're gonna be played by Rebel Wilson.
I know who that is.
River. I don't know who that is.
I just looked up Ghost Rider
Rebel
cast.
Wilson.
Oh, Rebel Wilson.
Yep.
Oh, this is the girl from Pitch Perfect.
Yep.
The guy Sam Elliott. He plays one of the Wyatt brothers in Tombstone.
Yep.
That's how I know him. All right. Who plays Renly?
Eva Mendes.
Oh, Eva Mendes.
You've already ever guessed done. We are going to be set. We'll be really rich. You won't have to do this save the world nonsense.
who plays Euphemia?
Who's the one who cleans the toilets?
You have to come up with a good actress for Euphemia.
Well, do you are good things gonna happen to Euphemia or bad things?
Euphemia is past tense as far as this game timeline is concerned. She's still on the mortal plane.
Let me check it out.
So that's your assignment. Find a good actress to play Euphemia.
Joke's on you guys, I will find one.
All right, Renly. So you.
I turn towards
yeah, what do you do?
Deimos and Elwin and Adis, and I'm like, who's first? And I look down the hole.
You found it. You go first.
I'm already
I
in
did
it.
the hard work. I spotted this. Come on, people.
Deimos and I
Oh,
look back. Are you
I
guys coming?
forgot. Jeez, Steve Buscemi.
Steve-
Danny DeVito.
No, Danny DeVito's a god among men.
Wait, so Steve Buscemi plays Euphemia?
Yes.
Okay. That is pretty good.
Either that or Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle? Is she the singer from Britain's Got
Yes.
Talent?
Yes. It's a singer. I'm very good at this.
Oh yeah, she's a bard.
Yeah, you get it.
Alright. Anyway. Renly, so there's a tunnel beneath the statue. I mean, judging from the age of the statue and the fact that no one in their right mind when this city was active would dare desecrate the statue of the founder of the city, brother of the god of the sea. you hazard that that this tunnel has not been traversed in thousands and thousands of years, at least.
Really, it seems like you have something in common with this tunnel.
Oh god. I follow up behind Davis and Elwin. I'm like, good job. Yeah, keep going. And I look back at Tempest, who I assume is with us.
Oh yeah, Tempest is there.
Okay, and I'm like, he's doing good work in your name, right? Right. I mean, desecration of statues, etc., etc. I give him a thumbs up.
Tempest is over by the fallen statue. He's looking. He has a ponderous look on his face. And as he's looking down at the statue, he says, "This man," he says, "I recognize him. Not," he says, the features of the face are indistinguishable, but this armor, this weapon, I've seen them before. A long, long time ago." He kind of shakes his head.
Wait, what? Okay. Talk and run. Guys?
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna start a light jog, and maybe as he passes me by, I will climb up on his shoulder and be like, forward,
Okay, so you and Tempest are going into the tunnel. All right.
following up after Deimos and Elwin, who already went in.
All right.
And,
So,
and Tempest in our movie is going to be played by Joe Manganiello.
Joe Manganiello.
Oh my god. Are you magic miking this?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Cool.
Tempest. I can see that. I can totally see that Tempest. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so you guys are traversing through this dark tunnel. The age of this predates any of the kingdoms of the mortal world. It's like it's silent as a crypt, but you're walking through stone that has not in a tunnel that has not been traversed by a living being for time immemorial. Renly, make a perception check.
Alrighty, I'm totally looking around now that I don't have to actually keep focusing on walking. I mean, go.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's
There
not
we
bad.
go.
It's good enough. You're what as you're walking, you being in tune with nature, you see that even on this picture, the growths, these vine-like tendrils that are streaking across some of the buildings. You see occasionally thick roots through the walls. I know traveling or bulging out through the walls and underneath the floor. Down this tunnel. You get the sensation, like at least inclination, being familiar with trees and nature, that this tunnel leads towards the source of this growth.
I do mention that as we continue on. Sounds good, people. Keep going.
Okay.
Maybe. Do you want to lead, Renly? Or should we keep going forth while you guide us from the rear?
I guide you from the rear. This is great. Keep going. Y'all are perfectly fine.
Okay.
I slap the reins on Deimos. Move on, steed.
All right, you guys continue down this tunnel, and it's descending downward, and not straight down, but obviously at an angle. Uneventfully, quietly, even solemnly, you guys move down. Tempest is walking, and he has a perturbed look on his face. And he looks over at you, Renly. As he's carrying, he talked up to you, Renly. He says, "This place has an odd feeling to it."
Would you call it once upon a dream, or like deja vu, or something else?
He says something else. It is. It has has both the feeling of a location very holy and also very profane.
That sounds good. I guess for finding stuff that's odd.
He says, I've never experienced the overlapping of both of these sensations before.
Oh, you'll get used to it soon, I think. I mean, we happen to come across quite a few of these things, so much so we don't really notice it anymore that much, right?
He pauses and looks at you quizzically. He says, "It appears that your travels have exposed you to far more variety of," he says, of events than I have ever dreamed of. If this feeling, of this paradox, of this joining of two of the most opposed forces within all of reality is common to you.
Oh, probably not on this scale. You're right, dear. I mean, it's probably something that's quite different from the norm. We just saw it on like a much smaller scale. And it's fine that we're going towards the source of it. I mean, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. It's gonna be great, right? I mean, just keep following Deimos. It'll be great. Adis, you coming? I call out to
Uh,
Adis, who's way back at the entrance still.
I wanted to check to see if there is any idiot mortal destroying magic or on this statue or around it or in the entrance to this tunnel.
You guys have not triggered anything, any kind of magic or anything. It's what you're struck by is the ancientness of this tunnel. Before you, Adis, get the sensation that, like I said, like I told them, that this passageway has not been traveled for time immemorial. It's older than the combined histories of the mortal plane. Tempest is talking about how the aura, the feeling that he gets off him. One is such as him being in tune with divinity, senses both holiness and profaneness, just emanating from the walls of this temple, overlap, juxtapose in ways that are he's never experienced before.
That's probably me and Deimos. Which one's which, I do not know.
As I go down in the hole, can I use like latent magical power to put the statue back?
Above you? Like you're trying to repair it?
He didn't break it, he just tipped it over, didn't he?
Like you're trying to block our exit. Great going.
I mean, he ripped up the stone. I mean, it was joined to the stairs, to the ground.
Oh, so it wasn't like something sitting there and he kind of just tipped it over.
No. It was part of it was a structure. He just kind of like tore a rock for it. I mean, you could set it in place again, but it won't be repaired.
Well, I will carve a message into the side of it that says Deimos most humbly and sincerely apologizes for breaking the statue.
Okay.
So you're gonna sign the damage off with his name. Perfect.
Yep. Much.
Okay.
I'll go down and follow him.
All right.
Onwards and downwards.
You guys are traveling for quite some time. You're not sure because your senses have kind of distorted down here. It could be an hour. It could be 12 hours. You're not quite sure. But as you continue to walk along this path slowly, again, the solemnness is what's striking to you. Tempest, over the course of this span, the only words he mutters, he says to you, Renly, he says, "The sensation grows. This is..."
Both of them?
He says, "Yes."
Tell me if something feels off or if it just like peters out suddenly.
He says, "I will." You guys continue for that untold amount of time. Like I said, it could be 1 hour, it could be 12 hours. You're not quite sure. The passageway stays fairly narrow, so you guys can walk. 2 people can walk side by side, but that's about it. The ceiling is maybe 9 feet tall.
Oh, and don't forget, all of you have fins.
To swim?
And they alter
right.
self.
So you're progressing along slowly when... Alright, so everyone roll a perception check.
So many ones! I've never seen so many ones.
Oh my goodness. Nobody sees anything.
Oh wow.
You guys walk into a place where the tunnel
Tempest.
widens slightly. right? So now you're in a room maybe 10 feet circle, 10 feet diameter, right? You can all kind of look around, and the ceiling bulges up slightly, so you're looking at like a 14-foot ceiling. And all around you, Renly, you see evidence of these unholy tendrils and vines just kind of like bursting out from the stone, from the rock. You guys are deep underground, deep underneath the surface of this plane, and the rock and stone is thick with the growth of these tendrils, these branches and roots.
Can you track the source of the vibe you're getting, Tempest? And I'm like looking around, trying to see if these are like joining together at any one.
It moves ahead of you, but on the opposite side of where you came in from, where it looks like there logically would have been an exit, the wall is thick with vines, a very dense focal point.
What's the best way to get rid of vines?
I say, hold on, Deimos.
Usually fire, but fire, it's not quite as potent. When
Did you say fire? I firebolt.
As soon as that spell starts to build up in him, I move like an additional 10 feet back behind him.
You were already at the back. That's really far.
I would like to.
And I'm preparing to put up some sort of barrier if a shockwave goes off, because we're in a small confined space, and he's gonna superheat water at a rapid pace.
Elwyn, the firebolt begins to flare up at your fingertips, right? And for normally when you cast this, it fires up in a split second, and you kind of cast it off instantly. But in that split second, as the fire bolt forms above your hand, right, and the water begins to heat up around it, right, a wave of darkness comes, surrounds you from behind you, because none of you noticed anything as you entered the room, from behind you, and it quenches the flame at your fingertips, and it kind of just washes over you, and the whole room grows darker, and you hear a voice kind of settle across you. From whence comest thou?
I gather myself. Roll a performance check real quick. Alright, I say, so, I have summoned you, just like I wished. Speak your name, creature.
No, the creature asked when you came. It used improper grammar, Elwyn. You should correct it.
You shut your face, person. That's really far back.
The creature says, or the voice says, what did you say? I forgot what you said.
I said, speak your name, and while I'm doing that, I'm feeding Deimos a carrot, like he's my horse.
He says,
I do love a good carrot.
I have no name, for she has not given me one.
Well then have no fear, for I shall call you Spot.
No.
Great.
Elwyn, this is the dude you ball checked.
He says, you hear the voice say, I am nameless, but I am profane. I am all that is dark and reaches throughout this world. I feel and grip and strengthen. I am one with the strength of my mistress. And thou hast stepped into a place where thou shouldst not have.
Does your mistress have a name, by the way? Just asking because, I mean,
Do not speak of her!
creatures.
You hear this voice say, and emerging from the growths in the wall, You see this face and this torso just kind of emerge.
Out of character. I know they told us that the kingdom was ruled by a female, right? Before it fell. What was the name of that
Anwen,
person? Anwen.
the queen that ruled it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, before it fell. I don't think they told you a name.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
did
definitely told us.
They
I
said
just didn't write.
Rose.
They didn't write it down. I didn't write it down.
The only thing I
It's-
remember is them telling us that it fell before the invasion of the heavens. Or
Well, the queen of,
before.
as of right now, because I don't remember if I made one up. The queen of Anwen, the ruling monarch of Anwen, her name was Glycera. Was Glycera.
Okay. I say. Are you speaking of Glycera?
The thing just kind of twitches its head a little bit and says, "That one is not known to me."
Good. I was testing you. So, what is your purpose here? You nameless, profane one.
This one's purpose is to hold this realm and to guard my mistress. This one's purpose is to exist at the will of mistress. She is all.
Hey,
Do you
ugly.
not wish your mistress to be free from this?
Mistress has no desire to leave this place. Mistress has claimed this spot since before creatures built realm above.
Good. Then I think you and I might come to an agreement. Your mistress does not wish to be disturbed. You do not wish us here. We do not wish to be here. We just come for one thing. If you can get that to us, then we will happily leave and make sure no one disturbs you further.
There will be no leaving. Mistress has allowed you to come this far. And
Well, then why are you stopping us?
She wants to meet us, obviously.
What's wrong with you,
And
Mr.
why are the
Gavin?
tentacle freaks outside wanting in here? And why are you killing them?
He says, "Demon spawn, not welcome near mistress. Ancient enemies."
We have something in common then.
He pauses and looks at you and says, "This one does not prevent you from moving forward. This one prevents you from leaving." And as it shifts itself, you see the growth in the passageway ahead of you kind of retract as the vines and the roots kind of recede into the wall. It says, "The way is made clear. Mistress has allowed you to venture forth and approach her."
Yell out, why couldn't you have just said that to begin with?
"Because thou must know that mistress is not to be disrespected. Mistress must be revered, or this
Like
one
royalty?
will tear thou limb from limb."
Then we need
Well-
to establish proper protocol here. What is her ranking? She a god?
How do we
Lord of
address her
Hell?
appropriately?
Yeah, how do we
Mistress,
appropriately address her?
madam?
Mistress's name is too great for thine lips to be speaking. You
What's
may
her
know
title?
her. You may know her and address her only as Queen of the Damned.
Here you go, thank you. Queen of the Damned it is.
So that's Her Highness then?
It was, yeah, so can we call her Your Highness?
It pauses for a second as if thinking. It says, "This one deems that title appropriate."
And,
Okay.
and do we bow? Does she like bowing or kneeling?
And how far do we bow?
It's pausing. It's like considering for a second. It says, as low as thine pathetic bodies can can prostrate themselves, for mistress
Okay.
is far greater than thine art and any of thine divinities.
Are there any other?
Hold on. And when we bow, do we present her with gifts?
It pauses for a second. Mistress. He says, Mistress would probably appreciate gifts.
And when we're bowing, as far as our pathetic bodies are capable, are there any other gestures, hand gestures, nods, head tilts, that we're supposed to do while bowing?
You see its head just kind of twitching a little bit. It's like, and it's the tentacles coming from its mouth are kind of flipping about. It says,
I mean, does your mistress like tea? I mean, this is very important because I have a lot of tea. Does she like that? Is that something she would
Yes.
like?
Does she-
Mistress does not imbibe any material items. Mistress
Okay.
neither eats nor drinks.
We
Does
have
she
we have
have
this
any,
really nice dance number that we have prepared. Do you think she'll enjoy that?
Yes, guaranteed.
She says, he's paused. roll a persuasion check, Ellen.
Poor dude.
Oh God!
We're working this
totally
full.
doing this on purpose too.
Yeah, we are.
He says, Mistress has appreciation for song and dance.
But she's about to have a good time, Mr. Guy who has no name.
This one,
Speaking of which, how are we supposed to properly address you?
this
Well,
one
that we
is
should
not
address
worthy
you
of
by-
being addressed. Just know that this one is the one that will tear thee limb from limb if thou dost disrespect the mistress.
We could address you as servant to the queen.
I will call you Profane One, number 1.
This one deems those titles appropriate.
Very well. And should we bow when we're addressing you for the first time?
No,
Dude, that already happened.
this one
Oh, we asked about the queen, not him.
has decided that it shall be regarded as profane one, and it shall be differentiated from that one which is outside. That one shall be profane too.
I get it. Makes sense.
Oh, good one. Oh.
Okay. We can totally respect that.
It pauses for a second and says, The
So will you
mistress.
be leading us to the mistress?
No.
Or do we just follow a path?
The mistress awaits. Continue on
Okay.
pathway.
Goodbye, Mr. Profane One.
Thou art
So,
very close.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Remember the warnings. Do not disrespect the
Servant of
mistress.
queen. And I'm gonna give him a hat. I'm gonna give him a 1/4 bow.
One last question. When do we know we are near mistress? I mean, so we know when to bow and stuff.
Thou wilt feel it in thine bones.
Okay, Tempest, you're up.
Okay. Alright, let's do this thing.
I also have a question, Midas.
'Kay.
In my time in hell, have I ever seen one of these?
No.
Okay.
Because you were only on the first level of hell. The creature retreats back into the wall, and the way before you is clear.
Let's
Tempest looks up at you, Renly, and says, he pauses and he says, Renly. And he looks around, he says, Deimos, Elwyn, the warnings of that creature, while confusing and, he says, perhaps misstated, are not to be taken lightly. I can feel the truth of what he speaks.
He's not just a cocky ass.
He says,
Deimos,
he
we
says
shall
no.
try not to offend. Do you understand, Deimos? The words of Tempest. Do you understand, my friend?
Oh,
shall try not to
I have a strap here. You've had him a carrot, right? I think he's full.
No, I have a
Amos,
muscle for him, but I don't
Oh,
think
good. Oh, good.
I'm making sure that I don't need to put it on right now.
Deimos is busy sneezing into a rock fixture.
That's a lot of dust here.
Okay.
Tempest looks up.
I shall try not. I give Renly a muscle for me, and I'm holding Deimos's muscle just in case I happen to start offending Renly. You know what to do.
All right. Tempest looks up at you, Renly, and then with a subtle nod, he takes a step forward into the exit passageway.
I just shrug and follow.
A few steps later, you're talking, he's gone 20 feet. You can feel his shoulders slump over. He says, "This is the focal point. I can feel it just ahead." You guys look, and all that's ahead of you is darkness. But you step into what seems like a room, and you only see it because the walls have kind of opened up. But it's just darkness, so you can't see. You can barely see, like 15 feet ahead of you. He takes a couple more steps forward and closer to the darkness, but the darkness does not recede. You guys are now 5 feet away from this thick black inkiness ahead of you. And he pauses, and you can see his shoulders slump over. He says, "Renly, it's overwhelming. The sheer..."
Here. And I'm going to pass him a little thingamajig, and I'm going to try to activate it with the command word, but give it to him. And this is the weird thingamajig that y'all gave me, which was the true sight gem of brightness. So he has true sight now. I hope this is good, but there you go.
Okay.
Midas.
Yeah.
Since I'm behind them, as they're walking into this, does it look like they're walking into black water or walking into an area with an absence of light?
It looks like they're walking into black water, or like they're walking up to like an area of black water. You can see them, but just a few feet beyond them is complete inky blackness.
Okay.
This should help with the vision issue. I mean, just tell us what you notice.
You speak the command word and expend one charge. For the next 10 minutes, you have true sight out to 120 feet when you peer through the gem. Tempest, he takes the gem in his hand and he holds it up to his face. And he says, he looks at you, Renly. He says, "Okay, I will look."
And nod back at him.
He holds it up to his face, and he looks into the darkness. And you can see his Renly, you're looking at Tempest because you can't see past the blackness, obviously. His eyes kind of grow wide. His mouth kind of drops slack open. He drops the gem from his hand, and he falls down and drops down to his knees, prostrate on the ground in a deep bow.
Guys.
Easy peasy. Okay, can we do this again? With the gem?
Does he appear to be following the protocol we went over?
Yes.
Okay, I'm kneeling so I can grab the gem and then also lift it up as I'm bowing and try to get a sight of what he was seeing, I guess.
Okay. Renly, as you pick up the gem and you affix it to your face and you look up, you see a bit of motion. You see what looks like something moving back there. It looks like about humanoid shape, sort of. But you put the gem up to your eyes and you look up. You just see a split second of motion before the blackness swirls, right? And you can see from the inky darkness a small tendril of black water come out and pluck the gem from your hand. Right? So it's now
like that?
it's now floating in the in the water ahead of you with just a tendril of blackness coming out and holding it in place.
Feel free to borrow it. I mean, Your Majesty, I've never used it before, so I was curious how it worked. It's very hard to see around here, but, Your Majesty. And I go back to bowing.
Okay, everyone's bowing?
Yes.
Alright.
And when I do, I present. I haven't used this in like 4 years that I've had it. I present this as a gift.
Okay.
I'm just gonna delete it.
Okay.
There we go.
Alright, another tendril of blackness comes out and touches the scroll and lifts it up into the water in front of you.
I pull out a bottle of tequila.
Okay. You offer a bottle of tequila. Tempest pulls out his dagger, an ornate carved, the dagger of a demigod, and he holds it up as well. All these things are lifted from your hands by tendrils of darkness. There's a pregnant pause.
Hey, Dust.
Deuce.
Looking, I don't have a whole lot of shit.
All my shit got destroyed before we came here. Give him something.
Well, I have an idea. Hey, Midas, can I use my my life transference spell and basically create like a mote of life essence to offer?
Yeah.
So I'll take that much.
Okay.
So 23.
So you take
Just
23
recap
points of
reroll.
necrotic damage, and you offer that up. It's a small, glowing green spark, and a tendril comes out and plucks it from your hand. A second passes by, and all these items are swept back into the darkness. And you guys hear a voice come through to you.
A thousand years I have rested, hidden beneath these walls, and none have ventured to find me. Why have you come to me now?
Still bowing, still with, my forehead bowed. I say, Your Gloriousness, before we get into those matters, please, let us honor you with this. I snap my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm guiding myself first. Alright, I'm in. All right, let's do this. Like, do we get advantage because we've practiced this before?
Yes.
Right.
Hey, can I use my magic to add some flair to their dance?
Sure.
Because I
wanna-
can't dance, so.
I want to first off start this off with just like a heavy, just like this terrible, like just aggressive twerking. I use my athletics for that.
Oh
I've
my
seen the video.
God.
You linked us the video before of the aggressive
Yep.
twerking. You don't need to link it again.
Oh, you sure? I can pull up more.
Alright, so this time, instead of doing one of those, we're gonna go old school with this, guys. We're gonna do this one. Hold on. Oh, there I go again. Stupid Mac.
You're on a Mac?
Well, for work, we switched to Macs. So on a Mac, Control Copy is like,
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it's like next to the spacebar, so spacebar. So yeah, it kind of messes with me. So we're gonna all go old school. We're gonna do this.
You guys are playing out the NSYNC moves. Jeez. These guys were really cool when I was in high school.
Yeah, we were so fucking dope. Alright, so I outguide myself with my -1, but here's my performance.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes. Oh Deimos.
Alright, Elwin, performance check.
I'm good at those.
Are you foresighted again, Deimos?
You said we got advantage.
No, I
No, we
pulled
had
it
advantage.
off.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have advantage. That's right. You have advantage. Okay. Renly, you were Awima weighing, and Adis, you were doing magical spark.
I'm providing the non-vocal music with
All right,
magic.
both of you guys roll performance checks with advantage also. These are as
God.
backup. You're not the main performers. You're backup.
I roll Arcana instead.
No, it's a performance. It's with advantage. Okay.
So 14.
So, a couple moments go by as you guys break out into your musical performance. Pulling off the full dance routine to "It's Gonna Be Me," and then as all of it kind of clears and the acapella music and the beatboxing kind of finishes off and the arcane pyrotechnics kind of simmer down. There's a tense pause again, and you hear the voice kind of say out,
So I see the realms of man have grown so desperate.
Oh God.
It makes sense then why you would seek me out. Tell me, what has transpired above since the one of red fire passed through this plane?
Asmodeus is sucking your land into a great maw to destroy all of it.
I see.
The red god, he kind of deliberately left something behind, and the maw was spawned at that point, and shattered the continents above to break the will of those who lived here, and all life above the water was snuffed out, like whoosh, and the life beneath the waves is being consumed, and the red god moved on, and so that's where we left off, and now certain crab-like creatures are moving again, trying to take over the underwater realms, and so things are being threatened, and you're minding our own business. And hi, yes, I'm Renly, that's Deimos, Adis, Elwin, this is Tempest, wonderful to meet you, Your Majesty. Yes.
Magnificence. This is only in this world that we are in. The Red God has destroyed many more. Our home world. And it has put all the gods in chaos. Many of them have died. The only thing we seek is to make things right.
Oh, Majesty. A question, if you would humor.
Do you seek to slay the one of red fire?
Fuck yeah, I mean, yes.
I wouldn't say slay, but I mean, if you beat to oblivion, then quite possibly.
Oblivion, yes, that was pretty much it. That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I'm a little more curious why the red god's afraid of her.
Then you mortals truly are deluded.
Yes.
Desperation must run thick. Who am I?
Yes.
Why does Asmodeus fear you?
The one of red fire must have sensed my presence, or at least a vestige of it. For I am nothing of what I once was. But, make no mistake, I am far, far beyond you.
Oh, we can kind of tell. But why does he fear you?
1,000 years ago, when heaven and hell were just roiling fields of chaos, I was there. And when the two formed and became ordered, I was there. I took the 9 realms of hell and made them my own. And those I ruled without hesitation or impunity, and watched as the gods danced their silly dance above. Eons passed, and coup after coup, one overgod dethroned the god who reigned previous. And so it went, and so it cycled. But then, a youngling arrived. A pitiful thing, at first small and weak. The others, the ones who served me, wanted him flayed to the bone and eaten. But I saw the red fire that burned in his eyes, and I raised him as my own, gave him opportunity. And he grew, voraciously. And before long the others saw him as the most fit to rule. He rose to challenge me and I rose to meet him. But there was no challenge to be had. I was as nothing before him. But he knew he could not kill me. For he knew that I knew his secret. And in that small measure, I had power over him. Does that answer your questions?
Are and above, Your Majesty.
Oh, after she says that, I said, then our performance must have been wonder to your ears. Let me remind you of our lyrics.
She says, you hear the voice say,
Music to my ears, inasmuch as the Queen of Hell is accustomed to the screams of the torturous damned. So yes, it was a soothing sound.
I have a question, if you would indulge me, Your Majesty.
okay,
How would you like to have hell back?
I have no such desire. I have,
she pauses for a second.
ever since I was dethroned 1,000 years ago, I roamed the plains, seeking a place for myself. Much diminished, I finally came to rest here, beneath the waves, in a place surrounded by my mortal enemies. Quietly I rested, and as the eons passed, I just waited. I have no desire to reclaim any of what was before.
Did you destroy this city?
No.
Okay, guys, that means there's something else nasty around here.
It was doomed.
Because remember the other.
It was doomed already. I extended my branches for the first time in eons to preserve what I could of the structure.
Just to clarify, out of character, so she's basically saying the city was already destroyed when she found it.
No,
Oh,
she
that
was
something
she
destroyed it.
she
and
was
she
here
kept
before
going
the city
back.
was founded. She was here. The city was built long after she arrived, above her.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Recently. So then she says,
I sensed something imposing. I sensed the threat subconsciously. And I extended my branches to hold the city together. I fear, however, that the inhabitants of the city are not very resilient. They fled, and when the Red Guard entered, they were subsequently destroyed. Had they but
Where they
stayed within
went.
my branches, they might have survived.
Now, when you say that you have no wish to reclaim what you once had, I understand that. But I have a feeling that by you giving us the honor of being in your presence, even though you don't want to reclaim it, you don't wish the one that wields the red fire to keep it. And maybe you sense that we might help in taking that away. And you can aid us in that.
My son is the harbinger of fate. He did what he did because he was destined to. And I have allowed you here because another thing has been destined. And I could no more resist its path, its movement, than you could resist its command that you ascend this mountain. We all
Please
have a
enlighten
role to
us.
play. We all have a role to play in this grand game. And it takes one such as I, as old as I, to have the perspective to see it as such.
So to clarify, the only thing you really desire is to have this place here and be left the hell alone by everyone, right?
No. I wish you to challenge my son. I wish you to drive a spike from the depths of hell into his heart and sever his soul from his body. That is what I wish. And I will rest here ever the more serenely.
About after that.
It does not matter what comes after.
Of course it does.
I agree, nothing matters what comes after, and I will gladly drive a spike from hell into his heart. Even if it's the last thing I do. How do you propose that I go about doing that?
she paused.
Yes.
There's a pause.
Let us wield your stake, Your Highness. Your Majesty. We are stake wielders, yes.
True chimichanga wielders.
I sense within you a determination and courage. Perhaps you will survive to find your destiny. Very well. Would you take a boon from me? Just knowing, however, that it comes from she, who was once the queen of all the 9 realms of hell. Would you accept my blessing?
Are you outright evil?
What is good and what is evil? There is only life and not life. There's only chaos and order. You, of all people, know this.
One cannot
Don't
exist
tell
without the other.
All the thoughts race through Elwin's head. And I'm thinking about back home. I'm thinking about why we came here in the first place. We knew that we probably weren't going to survive this. And if it means me sacrificing a little bit of myself, or all of myself, to bring back Tandesh for Eloise, for my other bitches, then yes, I will definitely take your boon, knowing that it might hinder me in the future.
Are we even debating this? We already have a boon from someone from hell. Let's just take it.
I say I accept.
You too.
Miss Queen, I cannot see. I do know that you probably find me highly attractive. Because you're under the water.
Edge of
I know that you want
tentacles.
to bestow upon a gift upon Deimos, and Deimos will accept the gift. But please promise me that after we complete our task, you help me with a little favor of my own. And I'll bestow upon you a boon of Deimos.
What is it that you are asking of me?
Alright, so like there's these 2 chicks who they think that I'm gonna marry them, and I just don't know underwater law. And I just need to find a way to get out of this one.
There's a pause. You hear the voice say,
Jesus, Deimos.
What's with you? He's got like 7
Turn
charisma.
into marriage counselor. Oh, God.
Getting relationship advice from the Queen of Hell, that's
Hey.
gotta be...
I'm much older than you, young lady.
No, you are most certainly not.
Okay, well, you look great for your age then.
the voice says,
The interactions of mortals and such temporary flighting creatures as yourselves and those who seek you is of no consequence to me.
Fair enough.
I have witnessed the passing of eons upon eons. My eyes are set upon the grand flow of this world. So no, I will not help you.
Fine.
Wait, hold on. I got an idea. Deimos,
Yes.
I don't know underwater law either, but what if you and I get married?
Problem solved. Loopholes.
Open relationship, though.
Well, obviously, we do for
Okay.
tax benefit purposes only.
Yes. Common law.
Common law. Alright, but yeah, Deimos accepts, but
And Deimos
wants
accepts
to know if
the
there's any-
proposal. He's now getting
No,
married.
no.
Okay, congrats.
I say, Miss Lady, we appreciate the help, but we all know there's usually something else that you would like in return for this glorious gift.
It's just to kill Asmodeus, Deimos.
I know, but is that it?
That's... Yeah, that's what she wants us to do.
Yes, okay, we can do that. Let's do it.
I can't take a third wife.
this.
But, Ellen,
Oh, no, there is more. But I shall ask that of you at a point sometime in the future.
Yeah, but could we have what it is?
we much prefer to read the fine print first if you don't terribly mind.
And what of you, young or small one? You have not yet given me an answer.
I look up and then I look at Tempest and I'm trying to figure out if she's talking to me or Tempest.
You. She's talking to you.
I would very much like to know the legalese and the terms and conditions therein, since I think I have often clicked agree to these pop-ups on YouTube, and then I got malware, and that wasn't good.
I shall require, at some time in the future, if you are successful, a small piece of yourselves, a fractional part of your soul energy, or just a bit from each of you.
What if
That
I
is all.
offer to give you the piece that you require from her and release her from any obligations in the future?
Who?
So I will offer, like she said, asking for a little piece of each one of us. You know what? Fuck it. I'll offer to take on the commitment from every single one of us, instead of having a little piece of everyone, to take a bigger piece of me.
There's a pause.
A small piece from each of you would not be of any mortal danger, nor would it affect your ability to govern your own will. But a larger portion from one might have consequences that you would not care to accept.
Really truthful, Elwin. I have a lot of experience with this. Little piece, it doesn't give them any control over you or anything. But if you were to do it for all of us, it would cost you greatly.
Yet it is a price I would greatly pay for my friends.
But it's not going to hurt any of us.
We appreciate the gesture, Elwin, but maybe we should save this for the Red God, and with the self-sacrifice bit.
We don't have to give the piece right now. It's in the future.
Yeah.
But
Only if you are successful in driving a hellspike into the heart of my son and severing his soul eternally, destroying him.
So Renly, I'm really serious about this. If you don't want to, if you feel uncomfortable with it,
Well, I'm actually surprisingly
Kid.
okay with this. I mean, it's not like I'm giving my still beating heart out of my chest to some fey god or something. I mean, I'm just saying.
Elwin, you
but
could
I did
handle
have
you
one
and
question.
hers.
I did have one question. What did you need parts of our souls for? If you don't mind me asking, Your Majesty. I mean, just for transparency and so on.
I give you but a promise that I would not use it to affect any kind of influence over you.
One, if you did you and Renly, it wouldn't really have much of an effect on you, but any more than that, and it would. And I know she can hear me, but I won't make it loud. More than likely, she's probably going to use it to heal her.
Young lady.
Mortal fragments or whole mortal souls are very powerful in healing those from hell.
Oh no, I was just hoping that you weren't gonna use it on any part of your son to bring him back better than ever before. You want this final, right? We drive a spike through his heart, he goes finito, we give you parts of our souls, he does not come back, right?
Correct. If you succeed in driving a hell spike through his heart, there will be no returning for him. No power in all of reality could change that.
Midas, since I actually am missing a significant chunk of my soul, I would like to ask her in like this world's terminology, like for a percentage, like how much of a percentage she wants.
He's already been claimed by so many. There's so little to go around.
Because of my hell in another event, I've only got about like 15% of mine left.
She says,
A small portion, not more than 1/20th.
Like 5%. So yeah, you would totally be fine, Owen, if you did you and Renly.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
Honestly, wouldn't do more than that, because it will start to affect your power.
I'm gonna do it. Nope.
I mean, look at my magic; it sucks. So, kind of sucks when you have no spirit behind it.
I mean, maybe this might help with Bane, Deimos.
do it.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Never gonna give this any of my gains. How do you
I
test the
would like to
strong
also.
protein? How it worked?
I'd like
Determination.
to also. Protein.
so Elwyn
Like
says
us.
yes. All right, what would you say, Adis?
I think we've all said yes.
Deimos is
I want
actually
to ask her
no,
what's going to happen to
unfortunately.
Hell when we kill him. Like, you know,
Some
if we
other-
kill.
She pauses and she says,
What always happens when a new order arrives? Those who dwell within it restructure all that remains.
No cosmic world-ending calamity will happen. Hell won't come unraveled. Someone else will take the throne, and the balance will be fine.
There's always a reseeking of balance. The universe must come into order. It has happened every time in the past, it shall happen again. For right now, things are out of order. As the one of red fire, the one whom I called Sun, ascends to the top of Mount Celestia. That is the imbalance.
That is true, though there are imbalances in many ways, including a certain individual called Iran Jeff, and he did give us a gift too, you guys. And I don't know about our souls, but they might not quite be that mortal anymore.
Yeah, I'm not giving him any of my soul. His Deimos' soul.
But we need the Hell Spike to kill him, and she's not going to give it to us unless we do this deal.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
fine
want a
with trying to
Hellspike
kill
then.
him without a hell spike, and I'm
Does
fine with
anybody
killing him with a
have
regular
a
spike.
miracle left?
I do.
I'll
I
do,
mean,
except
burning
for-
all our miracles.
We all do, except for Ren. I think Renly's the only one who's used hers.
No, I've used
no,
mine.
Elwyn and Renly.
You stop, bitch. Their question for her as we're debating the boon thing. I'm gonna ask her, how is it that acquired enough power to challenge an entire pantheon of gods all on his own?
Asmodeus, is that what you said?
Wait, can I
You're
roll an
under
insight,
comment
see if
on-
she's like bullshitting us on anything?
You can try.
It's under common logic. The pantheon of gods should have been able to kick his ass, but for
Kick
some
his
reason he like
nat 20.
slaughtered them like it was nothing.
I
This is
said,
like Osmodius is like a level 20 barbarian fighting level like CR 1/2 goblins when he went into
She
heaven,
sounds legit.
and that makes no sense.
there you go. Ignore all the ones before that.
She says, you rolled 2 natural ones before you got to a 20.
I said ignore those.
He is unlike any that has come before. He seeks to tip the balance and change things forever. And within him is the power to do so. You need my strength if you wish to stand a chance against him. Make no mistake, I do not lie to you.
All right. Offer.
And
There's
you
currently
mentioned
what is
you
currently
mentioned that
remaining
there
of my
is.
soul for all of us to get the bin.
Renly, what'd you say?
No, I was just like you mentioned that there is power within him, and yeah, if we can only kill him with your spike, what happens to that power when we kill him?
That is knowledge beyond my sight. But ones with eyes greater than mine might be able to determine the answer.
Oh shit. Or from outside of the from beyond the outer realms. A really bad feeling now that she said that.
Yeah.
Ask her that, Midas.
Wait, what'd you say?
Ask her if he got his power from beyond the outer realms. From a being that doesn't exist in the normal conventional plane. The circle and the elemental planes, material plane.
Okay.
The deep ones that you speak of. The deep ones that you speak of that exist beyond the normal planes are vestiges of old gods, formerly deposed, and of those creatures that existed before the gods. I am one who can say to you that they pale in comparison to the might of my son.
Deimos, you know that you guys have encountered one of those creatures already.
Oh, okay.
You remember him?
Oh, wait, which one?
It was
Oh.
tied to Feldorn.
Oh, yeah. One of those things, yeah.
Yeah, Dovo. He was from beyond the outer realms.
So what I'm getting from this, tell me if this hypothesis is reasonable, Midas, is that unlike us who were granted power by Befenzor, this fucknut went around and killed people that had Befenzor and took it from them. Or found remnants of their power and consumed it. From what she said. Just amassed a colossal amount of power from old beings.
You don't know if that's true or not.
I'm saying, would it be a reasonable hypothesis for my character to make? Not knowing whether it's true or not, but
you guys know that the awakening that was handed to you was unique. You've never experienced, encountered, or heard of, and neither had Befenzor, any creature, man, mortal, angel, outer realms creature, god, demon, or devil who even approached anything close to awakening.
Okay.
It's what makes you guys so special.
So she's been here for thousands and thousands of years. I'm gonna ask her if anything like what has happened to Asmodeus has ever happened before.
No.
Not necessarily to him, but okay. So there is something playing games. It's being. Do you know if Asmodeus just has raw power, or is he being granted the power? Seeing him possibly. Like,
Does
does
it
he have one
matter?
mind or?
He has it. And one
It
cannot
might-
tell, one of your station, and even of mine, cannot tell from whence the power comes. But I tell you this, he embodies it fully.
He is
had
of
it
one
even when
mind.
he was a youth.
Ah. The reason I ask is because if he's being puppeteered, then we're going to wind up doing this again in a few millennia. But that
No.
will be for someone else to deal with, I suppose. Alright, so I'll make the offer again.
So
for all our goods.
do you have enough soul left to cover all 4 of you?
I offered what's left for it. That's my offer.
She pauses
So
for a
that's
second.
3.
Says,
One part remains. One part remains to be given. I will accept your offer if one of your others, your companions, will agree to part with a small portion of their souls.
Don't give me.
Bro, are you copying me?
Bro,
I'm stealing yours because I don't have much left. I'm stealing your idea. If I give up any more of my soul, Elwyn, I'm pretty much fucked anyway. So I might as well cover as much of us as we can. Because if I give up what she wants of my soul, I basically lose any power I have, and I'm basically a peasant farmer. So I might as well go for broke.
I'll put up the part that's left.
I'm just wondering if this is the best decision, because just like a certain god is unique, so the fuck are we?
No, I'm just thinking that.
The
Don't
fact
give me
that
a
we're
boon.
getting a contract from the Queen of Hell with no strings attached,
I
Rinley,
mean, there
is
are
nothing.
strings.
Is
There are
nothing
really red strings.
the fine print strings that you don't realize you screwed yourself to the end. The fact that those aren't in this deal is nothing short of a miracle, considering who it's coming from.
I think those that screwed you up part is the need for the souls.
Be okay, Rinley.
Then do we have an accord? 4 soul parts from you, in exchange for 4 health spikes from me.
And a boon.
The spikes are the boon.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
It's just, yeah, but this. Everyone keep your prejudice, so they must don't need no spike. It's dumb. I don't need no stupid spike. I don't trust
Timos, shh.
her. No.
I mean, that's for Elwyn to decide.
Erwin, do it. Don't do it, Erwin.
Oh, is he AFK?
Much do you
No,
wanna
I'm
bet?
thinking.
Do it, Erwin.
If you guys have watched Critical Role, you should know we're totally gonna need all 4 spikes. So, come on now.
But if you go and suck my
I'm quite sure we are
Deimos
going to
wiener.
lose these spikes long before we meet a certain god. I mean, we have multiple levels of mountain to climb,
From what
people.
she's told us, it's the only way we even have a chance of killing him is to put one of these through his heart.
I have a better way. Strength, determination, hard work, sweat, protein, eating right, working out, and never giving up.
Tempest kind of stands up and says, all of which is worthless if you don't have natural talent.
Oh, bird!
So what you're saying?
Right.
So what you're saying, Deimos, is your magic is never giving up.
Never giving up, never surrender, Demos.
I asked Tempest what he thinks.
He stands up and he looks into the darkness. He says, I believe I have an understanding that I am wholly incapable of accepting this contract.
You are correct. This does not extend to you. Neither could you accept it even if you wished. Nor could I give one if I wished.
God.
Tempest looks at you and shrugs his shoulders. He says, the decision is yours.
Thank you, Tempest. That really helped. Not sarcastically. Like, no, not sarcastic.
Okay.
That actually really helped me come to my decision. I know. I think I know what you're after. And that's something I will not give.
Midas.
Hmm?
To see if I've ever heard of a hellspike. Or know anything, or have gleaned any information about it in my travels through hell.
Are you rolling?
I'm asking if I can.
Yeah, roll.
I spike that.
Spike or spark?
Spark it, sorry. I said 29.
You have never heard of anything like it.
It was worth a shot.
Okay, what's the final decision?
We're waiting on Ellen.
I say no.
Yep, sir, but
You
you.
know.
Okay, so Adis, 3 parts of your soul, 3 soul parts for 3 spikes.
Or Renly, Deimos, and me.
Haters. Who
Wait,
gets you
for-
so bad?
Is it Renly Elwyn in you, or is it Renly Deimos in you?
No, do Elwyn.
I thought Elwyn was going to do himself and
I
change
said
his
no.
mind.
No, we
You're
all
going to
say
do it for
no.
yourself.
Demos don't want a spike. Demos is getting it. Everybody's so
Actually, before we agree, I'm going to ask the Queen. Your Majesty. Required is for 1 spike to pierce his heart? All 4.
She says,
That I do not know. My son is a being of incredible power, and this coming from one who once overshadowed all in existence. A single hellspike could sever the heart from the soul of Mephistopheles himself. But I do not know what effect it would have on Asmodeus.
Can you give 3 to just me?
You would not be able to bear 3.
Nah, bro. This bitch wants her awakening powers. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking of. Like, we are unique in our awakened abilities, and giving a part of us soul will give her that power.
Fuck
I
this.
don't
We're
know.
weaponizing
Well,
her.
why don't you ask her if that's what she's after?
Nah, fuck this bitch. I say no.
Realize that if we don't take this deal, we're not getting the orb either, right?
Yeah, we'll figure
She's
shit
literally sitting on top of it.
That's okay.
She's literally Osmotus's mommy. We can't beat her in a fight.
Maybe
We
she
need-
can't do anything. Maybe she's trapped here, and that's why she has those creatures surrounding the place.
This might be a
maybe-
mind game.
Yeah, maybe
we-
we wield the real power. Yeah, I say
The
no.
reason those things are out there patrolling because we've already figured out that the reason they're keeping her here is because Osmodeus is scared to fucking death of her.
Bro, if you want to hand over your awakened, go for it. I say no.
As that she might potentially just kill us.
Well,
Right.
then we'll die. I say no.
Then she has our awakened power anyway.
No, we have to give it
We
willingly
have to give
for her
it.
to take it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not have a lot of experience playing with souls. If she strikes us down here, she could take our souls.
Bro, Deimos has got a miracle.
I am Deimos. Deimos is impossible to take down.
I see that.
It's a time.
You know what?
I asked the queen if this is a time sensitive deal, because we're kind of on a time crunch right now. Potentially, think on it for some time and then get back to her. Because we are on like a time crunch to deal with the army. Friends seem to be a little conflicted, and we have an army of pissed off crabs.
You know what I say? Your greatness. Why don't you show a little bit of faith in us and provide us with the crystal that we require while we ponder upon your offer? In exchange for that, what would you like?
And as a reminder, she did say we don't have to give the soul part until after we kill Osmodeus. By the way, we're not giving it up right now.
Dude, you just like attacked the queen and like ripped off her arm. I really not like. Yeah.
Got to do with this.
Okay. She says,
I do not have the trinket you seek. It must reside somewhere above. It is of little concern to me. But, as a gesture of good faith, and as a token of my intent to you, that I mean you no ill will, let me show you what you would gain.
Oh god, Midas, you're such... Wow, I was about to just accept for myself just so we could find out that.
What?
the
What?
blackness begins to recede. The inky darkness begins to get sucked away, and retract. And as it does, you see the wall. You can see the walls around the this room that you're in. It's a fairly large room now, about 100 feet in diameter. And as it does, you can see branches of these thick growth extending from the walls, all heading towards the center of the room. And the center of the room, the darkness is still there. It's like the darkness is receding into the center of the room. And as the darkness continues to recede, you can see that the thick thorns and roots all cluster there. And where they arrive, they make up a throne. They attach to this large seat made of this dark growth-like material. And there, sitting on the throne,
Damn it, Dibs.
she stands up. She takes a step forward, and she says,
My name is Sashie. queen of the damned.
And you see her reach up and pull 5 of the spikes that are embedded in her headdress out. And as they disconnect from her headdress, you can feel light. You can see parts of the energy that flows through her detach. And as each one detaches from her, her aura decreases. And she lays the 5 spikes out there. You notice that there's 6 in her headdress complete. But you get the feeling that if she were to pull all 6 out, there'd be nothing left of her. And she lays
She had to be hot.
She lays each spike out on. Then they float out on tendrils of darkness, out floating in front of you. And as they do, you see that each one of them has a different color to them. She says,
Each one of these is part of myself. You should know that in offering a hell spike to you, I am giving to you much more of myself than the small portion of your soul that I am asking in return. These are all that is left of my power, all that is left of what I have rescued from the depths of hell when I was cast from it.
there's 5 spikes.
I have a weird question to
Mhm.
try to pull off. So for my character's existence, they've been like a creature of balance and neutrality. Can sense, perceive, does she feel like she centers the scales or tips them?
She's just like what Tempest said. A complete overlapping of holy and profane. She's neither god nor devil. She's something of both.
Like the embodiment of balance. Okay.
Deimos, you know my weakness. She's hot.
Dude, what are you doing?
I want to take it.
Step, why are you air thrusting?
Oh, then include that in your contract, Owen.
Then I start doing a little dance. I don't know what to do.
$20,000 damage. Holy shit.
Oh, Deimos, you totally need the blue one.
Oh shit, I didn't see that. You linked them. Oh.
Yeah, the
Blue
red
one
one
is
meant
OP
for
you,
Elwyn.
bro.
I just want to say, I don't think that
Oh,
we
yep,
would
the
ever
red-
get to the red god before we use them. I feel like as we're climbing this mountain, we might end up using them before, like certain other things we've used before.
These are not one-time uses.
Oh my
The stuff on the stat
god!
sheet, it's the boon effect is the stat. Stabbing him with it is what we need to do. Totally Elwyn, because it has an ability called Heartbreaker.
Yep, that's how I was like, red is Elwyn. But
So-
the gray is very interesting.
Underneath the green one, you see that I guess I didn't type in all of them. But one of the actions under the green one is to break the spike. It regrows after 7 days. All of them do.
Damn. These are very fucking good. You said that you can keep using them, or it's
Yeah.
use it once and 7 days you have to wait again, or
No. If you break it or lose it, it regrows and it returns to you in 7 days. Now these are if you accept them, they're permanently attached to you. They become part of who you are, just like your boons.
What's the gray one do? Is that just nothing?
That is the cool one. That's the
I
one
don't know
we
what it
want.
is.
If someone actually takes the gray one, it would come into play sometime down the road.
That's the only one I'm actually interested in, despite everything. I'm like, oh my god! Question mark? Question mark?
It can still fuck up any demon or devil if you slash them with it.
Yeah, but then I don't actually use attacks, right? So it's pointless for me to put it on a weapon or anything. So
The Hellspite, the black one would be good for you, and so would the green one.
black one was interesting, but for Redney, like the only thing that
No,
actually
not the
jumps
green
out
one. Sorry.
is the gray, because it's like, what does it do?
So like for this blue one, if you use
The red one
15
is
to,
totally for L1.
yeah, to activate it, does it like you just have +5 AC until you unactivate it, or is it only for like that one turn? Or
Oh, it's 5 turns. Sorry, they're all 5-turn
Oh,
activations.
okay.
While your heart burns, it mirrors all your fire damage with an attack of Dark Flame, dealing an equal amount of infernal damage. Oh my god, Elwyn, that would make your freaking firebolts ridiculous, even more so than they already are. The double firebolt. And how many can you do in one round?
6 of those motherfuckers.
Oh, 12?
As I watch my companions look at these spikes, and Elwyn starts to drool both over the woman and over the spikes, particularly the red one.
I'm gonna ask. Oh, good.
I
Sorry.
am going to just look towards her, then them, and just mention, sometimes these journeys are more about finding our own path, and you never know. Like, most people would have written us off as never stepping foot on this plane. So I don't know, guys. I feel like, we might be able to manage this somehow without the shiny.
I say, Your Majesty, please forgive my impudence, but if I were to accept this deal, consider as part of the initial arrangement spending some alone time with my friend Elwyn here.
Whoa, bro. No.
What? I get whiplash from how hard my head turns.
Yes,
Deimos, defend your man.
yes, step up.
I said it.
I don't know what he's
jeez.
talking about, Deimos.
I'm
No.
so confused.
Jeez.
Deimos, Elwyn's mine. I claimed my lictum.
Holy shit, Midas. Why do you do this?
Why? You're a bad person. Just actually. Did
He's
you ever
taunting
tell
us
me
and
that
he's
before?
evil. And he deliberately made it 12 spell slots and not 20 because he knows you will use it like fuck.
In the last 5 turns.
Yep. And just
Yeah.
12
Is that
spell slots.
hold on. Midas, is that 20 spell slot levels? Because I don't think any class has
Yes, levels. So a 9 and an 8 and a 5.
Okay.
Or
Exactly,
cool.
so 12
Because
means
that'd
you
be
can
really-
spam red so often.
spell slots would like wipe
It's
me
a
out almost.
trap!
So she says, she pauses and she says,
Really? In all the talk of souls and gods, you seek carnal pleasure as well.
And my
Wow.
friend has a thing for the beautiful
she
and
says,
magnificent.
I'm here.
she says,
In the grand scale of things, such an interaction, such an exchange is so small,
To us
Might be.
mortals.
and might be mutually enjoyable. So I will throw that in as a bargain point.
No! Don't do that.
Can't say
Sorry, Deimos.
you can't say no now. You get to
trying
say
to
no.
hold-
God.
Out! Damus, knock
Ellen-
him out! Knock him
Elwyn's
out!
somehow
But only-
overpowering Deimos.
Only if that one agrees to give me a portion of his soul in exchange for his spike.
Did you point at Elwin?
Yeah.
Okay, Elwin, you totally can't say no now.
Oh man, it's so late. Oh, I gotta go, guys.
I'm gonna cast Feeble Mind on Elwin. Oh no, wait, sorry. No, I don't
Counterspell
have
it.
any spell slots.
You should, because you would have had a long rest.
No, I didn't. I gave you all Chrysalis, so I'm the only one
But
who
the
hasn't
amount of
had a
time,
slot.
the amount of time we traveled, you got to sleep for 8 hours.
Oh,
No,
really?
It took us a.
No, you guys were walking. You don't know if it was 1 hour or 12 hours, and you were walking the whole time. There was
Well,
no
I mean the
resting.
swim. No, I mean the swim.
No, there
When
was
we
an
were on,
army
when I was
coming
transformed.
to the land, so we had to like rush.
But we went all the way around the north side of the thing. We traveled a long time when I was carrying them around in the.
Yeah, I guess
How
that's
much
true.
time did you have?
I guess that's true. You would have had enough time, yeah.
Okay, so I had a long rest.
All right. So I mean, I'm happy to leave it here and let you guys decide next time. Although
Yeah.
next week
I
I
was
have
totally
to.
kidding on that, but
Next week I have to take my brother to the airport. So we would. Oh geez, he has to be there at 11 o'clock. Yeah, I don't think I can't play next week because I'm.
No, I'm casting Foresight on Elwin, and I'm going to like spike Foresight so that Elwin can make a clear decision. I mean, I don't know if this even works, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just so that it's like it's less about the temptation, more like what would Elwin do if he had full faculties.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
empower his performance skill and miracle it so that he has the most
Miracle
divine
it.
experience ever.
Um,
No.
So points of the factual points of this interaction. She's offering you each a hell spike in exchange for 1/20th of your soul, to be given to her only if you're successful in killing Asmodeus and with the hell spikes.
okay. I'd like
And
to
you realize that the hell spikes are actually large portions of her remaining power. By giving them to you, she's leaving herself much diminished.
I'd like to ask a clarifying question.
Okay.
That 1/20th of my soul does not include my awakened part of it.
She says, she pauses and she looks at you and she says,
With every fiber of my being, and by all the gods dead and alive, by the soul of my son himself, I say to you, I know not of what you speak.
That does not answer the question.
I don't think
You
she
may
can
not
see
know
it.
of what you speak, but I'm putting it into our deal that whatever part of my soul that you take does not include part of my awakened.
Only
soul.
be your natural soul. Say that.
It'll only be my natural one. Have no essence of my awakened soul.
your soul is your soul. She says,
You may decide what part of your soul to give, as long as it is the 1/20th.
So I can like format like a hard drive.
You're
like
not
my
a hard
soul.
drive, you're a soul. Shut up.
I'm not.
I can partition it. I can partition.
Shut up.
You know how to partition a
It is.
hard drive, right? I'll like partition like my non awakened
Alright,
soul.
so-
You're not a hard drive. You're
Is
a bowl
there-
of soup. Try to partition a bowl of soup with your
Given our-
finger.
Power. Is it possible for us to tell if it's even attached to our soul?
wait. So hold on a second. What was your question, Adis?
If with our awakened power, because Elwin's been able to see into the inner work. Elwin and Renly have been able to kind of see into the most basic inner workings of the universe and stuff. Can we actually tell if that power even is attached to our soul? Or is it more the knowledge granting us power than anything?
It's more the knowledge has transformed you. It's transformed your souls. Transformed your whole being.
Smart soul.
So that's it. So I can't, like I said, I can't play next week. If you guys want to leave it here, we can leave it here and pick it up in 2 weeks.
I mean, part of me wants
I
Elwin to
think
roll for it.
Elwin needs to go. I think Elwin needs to go have the time before we call it.
No, but I actually do have to head out, and I gotta go to work in like an hour.
Oh
All right.
man.
All right.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh,
All right, but let me
You
fill
wait,
me in what
give me it?
happens.
You're
I'll
sitting
see
on
you
it?
guys.
Later, Amos.
And just to clarify, she did agree to have fun time with Elwin as part of the deal too. Elwin, you know how ridiculous you'll be if you have the red hell spike? Come on now. I mean, you're already ridiculous, but that's even more ridiculous. Look at the second ability. All your fire damage heals you for that much damage.
Stop selling it, dude. I know what it does.
You're going to listen to the dude who just died and you have to bring him back from the dead?
It's a pretty lady. He can't resist.
I mean, if you're really unsure,
Like
roll
if
for
it, if
that.
it all if the sexy time wasn't included, I would definitely say no. But I'm Elwin.
There's no telling what power Elwin might get from having sexy time with a being like that. He might get
Wisdom
He
save?
might get his own sexy time boon.
I mean, wisdom save sounds reasonable, I would say.
Wisdom save, what do you think?
I mean, considering the fact.
Holy shit. So 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That
to
gives me a
decide.
good time to think.
You
I'm
are
probably
going
gonna
to-
flip
you're gonna-
flop.
Exactly.
I
You
should
Alright.
just
the
make a
whole-
decision right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
you will be
if
so
you
fucked
want-
otherwise.
If you want to wait 2 weeks, we can wait 2 weeks.
You will have 2
Sorry,
weeks of
Elwin, but
decision.
given your character, I had to try that because your character is so a pretty lady's man.
Okay, let me know. High or low? High, I
High.
will choose now.
Hi is no. Okay.
Wait, you're asking me?
Yes, I rolled into the tower.
You're asking me? I'll tell you in 2 weeks.
No! This is so cruel. Oh my god.
All right, 2 weeks.
No, but
Alright.
it'll be wiped from the game in 2 weeks once you restart.
Oh,
I have it on
if you
video.
didn't-
Oh, okay, never mind.
this Midas,
God damn you, Midas.
if you didn't, this when you close down the session, if you go into the campaign file, there's a folder in like when you first go into this campaign's folder. There's actually a file there. It'll open up in your web browser, and it's the entire chat log for the session.
Oh, cool. Cool. So
It
Ellen,
writes over it with each
so
session.
Ellen, I have to upload last week's video today because I forgot to do it last week. And then next Monday, when I'm not here, I'll upload this week's, so you can watch the video next week and see what you rolled.
Oh my god.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
Yes.
Have a good night, guys.
Night night.
Thanks,
Oh my
Midas.
god, Midas, that was awesome.
All right. Thanks,
Night.
guys. See you next.
Night.
See you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2
See
weeks.
ya.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Well, you're welcome, Elwin.